Evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tyngsborough Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for June 9, 2016. Under the provisions of Chapter 40A, Section 11 of the Massachusetts General Laws, the Tyngsborough Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing in the community room, 25 Bryant's Lane, Tyngsborough, Massachusetts, on Thursday, June 9, 2016, at 6:30 p.m., where it will hear requests for variances and/or special permits. My name is Joe Paul, and I'm the chairman. To my right is Mr. Rob Kidd. To his right is Mr. Chaz Doughty. To my left, hi, Chaz. To my left is Adriana Gabakis, and our administrative assistant is Pam Berman. Our first application tonight is a carryover, although it was not opened last week. It's a hearing, number one is for 92 Coburn Road, map 26, page 39, lot 0. Request by Sally Amnateko, applicant for a variance from section 21250 of side yard setback. I believe there are additional contingencies on that lot, since it's an undersized lot, of the Tyngsborough zoning bylaws for the proposed construction of a 12-by-16 shed in an R1 zoning district. It was advertised in the Lowell Sun Thursday, April 28th, 2016, and Thursday, May 5th, 2016. I'd like to have a motion to waive the reading of the abutters list.
So moved.
I have a motion.
Are we holding this until Ed gets here?
We're gonna continue. I don't know.
You can do that? I didn't know how far you can get before. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna continue now. We're just gonna go with the floor.
Chaz?
Thank you.
I'll second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Are there any challenges to the reading of the legal notice or the abutter notification? I don't see anything. Now, I would like to have the applicant come up to our table and introduce himself and present his case for 92 Coburn Road, a request for variance for a shed.
I'm still confused. You just opened the meeting, Ed's not here.
It's all right, he's an
Yeah, we're
alternate.
gonna continue without Ed, because Ed's still not here.
But you can open it without Ed, and Ed can still come in and vote?
No, not at
So
this
then it
point.
has to be unanimous.
Yes.
Applicant knows that?
He does now.
No,
Oh.
okay. By the way, thank you so much for holding this meeting. Appreciate it. My name is Sally Amnateko. I live in 92 Coburn Road. I've been there this July will be 7 years. Like I said, that I applied for a variance for a shed, for that side and in my backyard. And the reason is that because I have a lot of things in my basement, I want to put it out there. And then also too, the reason I want to put in there because, and I look at my lot, it's kind of like, you see a lot of tree in both sides. It seems big, but it's kind of small when you go physically, when you look at the lot. That's why I want to put in a corner. And then I have talked to my neighbor, it's Eddie. He said, well, that's fine, we get to know each other and all that too. But that's all I want to share with you. I don't know what else do you want to know.
Well, you're following all the right procedures by getting the permit and going through the reason why you're here for variance though, right?
Yeah.
Because currently on your property line, they require a setback dimension, meaning any structures have to be held back from the property line a certain dimension in all 4 dimensions, from the front, sides, and rear. Also, there are certain criteria for a lot, building lot size in Tyngsborough. And currently, you're on an existing non-conforming, which it's okay, it's good.
Yep.
It's just that it's a smaller size lot. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna grant you variance for the size of the lot anyway, I would imagine, for this, so you can continue. And we'll go forward. But that's why, instead of just getting a building permit for your particular shed, that's why you came before the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Oh, thank you.
And it seems like you want to put your shed closer to the property line than would normally be accepted. The current zoning requirements require a side yard setback of 30 feet, meaning any structure should be held back from the side setback line, from your property line with your adjacent neighbor, 30 feet. And on your particular request, you want to put it up within 7 feet. And that may or may not include the overhang. I don't know. Your shed typically would probably be even closer than the 7 feet. If you're looking at the wall, the side of your shed, your overhang of your roof might even be closer, right? So anyway, are you Continue, please. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
And then continue what? And then it's,
With your request, because usually a variance is required for a particular hardship. This board will look at hardship cases for people that are petitioning for particular zoning. For instance, just one case in point, if you had kept your shed 30 feet away from the side lot line, right, you probably would have gotten a building permit right away. But of course, you don't want to do that. That would probably put your shed right in the smack dab in the middle of your backyard. So-
like, yeah, thanks for that, but it, like, you look at that here too, that, you know, the image that in here, that, because like I said, it's very small lot, it is a hardship I have too.
Okay.
That, you know, and sometimes my families come over, we didn't have no place to sit, you know, and all that too. That's why that spot we pick is just perfect,
Yep.
and then for that, and then not just for ourselves, and also look good for our, you know, our neighbor too. And I thinking about it, and that's my,
Typically, we look for like 3 instances for a particular hardship for zoning, and this has been illustrated time and time and again by town council and things like that. It would be for lot size. Let's say that you had a funky size lot or a misshapen lot, and you're trying to put something in. It would be for topography. Mainly, you're trying to put in a structure on the side of a hill, and you have to move it off a little bit because otherwise you can't build right on the hill. And the last thing would be soil composition, whether it would be very murky or wet or something close to a wetlands or things like that. Those are some of the hardships that we typically look at. As far as a preference to put a shed, and if you have the setbacks required, that's what we usually ask, is that you follow the original setbacks of the zoning. However, in your case, that you're sitting on an undersized lot, we probably have a little discussion about how best maybe to handle this. I'm sure there are some better minds than myself on this board that would like to discuss and maybe ask you some questions. So maybe we'd maybe open it up to maybe asking the petitioner some questions and get his feeling of it. Mr. Rob Kidd had mentioned that we're missing one more of our members, so tonight, if we went for a vote, if we had all of our information and we felt confident and we went for a vote, it would have to be a unanimous between all 4 of us to vote in favor, or if one person is in opposition, it probably wouldn't carry,
okay,
just to let you know.
that's fine.
Okay, so your lot positioning is, right now, your house is 21 feet from the property line. 21 feet. And you cut the grass on that side, and it's all fairly open. And then you're gonna put the shed upwards of within 7 feet of the property line. And that looks like it's the only really tough dimension. The side to side of your house and the front to back, of course, we can't do anything about. The house is already built,
Yeah.
you're not moving
Yeah.
the house. And as far as the square footage, in an R1 zone, it would be, typically today, it would require 65,000 square feet. You have 25, so that's okay, you're grandfathered in. The only thing that I would be concerned about is being too close to the property line. Do you have any kind of written, I know your neighbor isn't here, but do you have anything in writing or whatever that he said he have no problem with putting it that close to his property line, or?
No, but I talked to him a lot, because, you know, and I mentioned to him, I said, Ed, I want to build a shed, and then he said, where? I went in backyard, and then this one I want to do, he said, but the town of Tyngsborough not grant me yet, you know, and he said, well, he just give me that look. I said, oh, you know, you know, he's a fireman. I think you probably know him too, and he's fireman in Tyngsborough, I believe. So yeah, that's what he said about. And he seemed to me that, because, you know, I get to know him, and it's like a friend too. We help each other, and that's helped me to comfortable. And he seems he's very fine with it when I mentioned to him that I could build in there. And then actually that in his backyard is all the tree that he didn't cut tree. You know, where I put the shed is not even like in his, like, you know, probably like open.
Doesn't even look like you can see it, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Is there currently a structure there? This is an old picture, so I'm not sure if this structure, it looks like there's something in the back there now.
Oh, yeah. I think Pam asked me too, that, you know the shed that they left, when we bought the house, you know, from the Home Depot, that's
Yeah,
standing
yeah.
right there? And time to time I move, different, different location, you know,
Oh,
because
okay.
I want to make it clear, I make it nice, but again, that I put in there in like a summertime, you know, like to make it more room, more open when people come, and that's it. And now I moved next to, in behind my house, you know, just movable.
It's one of those plastic.
Yes, yes.
Not a permanent.
Now that the door is fall off now, because it is 4 years now. That's why I said, well, I need to get new one.
Ed, we started the meeting without you, because it's kind of late, so you're
Well,
gonna have to sit this one out.
That's fine. I'm so used to conservation, 7 o'clock. I was sitting home watching the news, I'm like, okay, I got time to kill. When she texted me, you coming? I'm like, yes. Sorry about that. It's late at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that's what I look at too, that it is for me, that I thought I have a lot of land, but
We have the-
when I put things together, I said, wow,
Mhm.
that's why I just put that. I put actually that very low, you know how the lands go like this, like a heavy. I bought the soils to pack it up, packing soy, and to put in there about 2-3 truck on that to get that to that point.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then it's a lot of spend a lot of money for that. And that's why.
It can get expensive.
Mr. Chair, is the lot line clearly defined? Is it marked somehow so you know exactly where 7 feet is? Because 7 feet is awfully close to the
Well,
line. And I know it
That's
is on.
good question, because I based on the pole, the front, near the Coburn Road, I saw the pole, that my property line, and the back, I saw it too. But again, that when I look at that physically, you just like for example, from Bob to here, like this is from that and to the front, and you can see, just if you line up like this, with this paper here, this line, and you can see that what I say is very far away from what I want to say.
But I guess my concern is the sideline that you're gonna be 7 feet from. How are you determining where 7 feet is?
That's a good question. That's why, and I didn't know, it's probably more than 7 feet. What happened was when I built, when I didn't build like in a wall, I just put that, in my backyard, I just put the line and put, built the soils up. And I said, well, the line probably here, but I built up the soil from here. But I just start from where I built, that where I put the soil in there. I packing soil is there. That's how I measure from that. It's probably more than 7 feet. But I didn't know exactly, like you said, but I know it's more than 7 feet, but just said 7 feet. But when you look at that property line, it's probably more than 7.
Well, if we're gonna approve something for 7 feet, and you're saying it could be 10 feet, we really need to be able to approve this for what it's gonna be.
What I tried to say right here, see, this line here, what happened was, and in all this here, when I bought the house, it's just a hilly here. I put the soil here, and it's up to here. I put way up the soil is up to, inside a little bit, what I mean? But I measure from that 7 feet, not from the line.
So
But
there's
I-
markers at either, there's a marker here and there's a marker here? Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
Yeah,
So that you have poles, I think, in the ground?
yeah, I have the pole, yeah, in there.
So the property had been surveyed and somebody staked it, they put poles in the ground so that you knew where the property lines were?
Yeah, I saw the pole, in the end and the front, I saw
Okay,
the
so you're
pole.
saying you started your property grading with the soil that you put in 7 feet from that
Yeah.
staked pole?
Yeah.
Okay.
don't see a hardship. I'm struggling with this one. I'm looking for,
Yeah, I don't.
throw me a bone, folks.
I don't see a hardship.
I understand the lot is undersized, but it's certainly only because that area now requires 65,000, but that's certainly plenty of lot. He's got 100 feet of frontage, so plenty of lot size. I understand that prefer to put it to one side, but even 30 off, there's still enough room for that shed or even a bigger shed within the confines and not requiring this board's approval based on the space he's got. And I think he's 30 off the sides, 30 off the back. So that's,
That would be the requirement.
right, so that's where he's at. So that's still allowing
Well,
as
no,
much
no.
as 40 feet.
Oh, no, I think he's gonna be at least 40 from the back.
Yeah,
he
so
could
we're only
actually-
talking side.
Yeah, we're only talking side, yeah.
Yeah. I hate to establish a precedent that we're allowing sheds right to the border. And that's a concern that I have with this. Love to help you out, and I understand what you're saying about, wanting to get it to one side.
Do you know where it would be if you had 30? Relative on the schematic, like where in your,
Center.
It'd be pretty much centered.
Yeah, it was center.
I mean, if he's got, I'm just assuming 100 feet, it's pretty close to what his width is. So that gives him 60, so it gives him as much as a 40-foot structure, I suppose, within the bounds of what's allowed. Because he'd have 30 feet on either side, 40 in the back. I don't suppose you want to build a barn.
Because that's it, we stopped there for landscaping, that too, and, and
Trust me, a shed's never big enough, I'll tell you that right now. No matter what you put in, it seems 3 years later, it's full. No, I'm just being honest that I don't see a hardship here, it would be to the lot lines, it would be to the soil, it would be to, maybe where the septic tank is, I don't know if that's a hardship. But I'm just not seeing one here, sorry.
You're on sewer over there, right? You were sewer or septic?
so.
Sewer. No, it seems like there's plenty of room to massage it, to move it. Maybe even a little further to the back, but a little to the center. And you wouldn't even have to require a variance.
Yeah, thinking about that too, but it's, like I said, and in there, just like, because we didn't cut the tree back all the way down, and then also the soil there is not good too, all the back. And then when we bought the house, and then only 25%, and then we have to cut the tree, make it, open up to get that, but the soil just is bad, and that's why I bought a lot of topsoils. Not topsoil, packing soils to fill up in that area.
so if you put the shed closer to the back, is the soil not firm enough for you to put a structure there, or?
I don't know, I don't know, it's just like, not just, it's a lot of, like poison ivy and other stuff area in the back.
What's the topography? Does it slope down, up, or is it
In the side.
level?
That
In the
slope
back,
down, Yep,
it slopes.
yeah. Like, like this, how my house is here and it's go down like that, and where I stop, it's just like, where it's like to the point to where it's so hilly like that,
Is there water behind you? Is it wet in the back of the lot?
I'm sorry?
Is there water? Is it the back of the lot wet?
No, but far away, it's like a water, steam water, you can look at the map there. That's why that I think that Eddie's house and next house is a kind of wetland, back then. It's kind, my property line just like go this, that's why. We put a lot of hard work in that to get that look in that like that, and then people amazed there. They said, my neighbor said, "Well, you've been here like 4 years. It seemed like 10 years." We work constantly with even one day that I have day because I work. I have Monday off. I took the whole day off. We can use bobcat because I have the root and rock. I use my hand to level by shower to get that point. Yeah, next day my hand cannot even move. Yeah, that's why that to get that point, and that's why that And I look at that, I say, wow, you know, I mean, to get to that point is not easy. And I hate to put that, you know, the shed in the center and then cram up and everything and just like healthy.
I think the back of the lot is,
This is the 50-yard line right here, so this is the 50-foot side to side, right? And you have a, so it's 30 feet and 30 feet, so if that's 21, 15, let's go, well, 33, it'd be a third, right? So that'd be a third, roughly a third, and that dimension would be, so it would have to be anywhere within this dashed
which
line,
would be,
approximately, right? So this is where you'd be able to put it, somewhere in the center here. So you got
Just
30,
yeah,
yeah,
kind of in the center.
yeah. And then keep it back 30 feet from the back, and center it right here, put it right in the back.
So the topography back there is
But we
sloping
don't-
downwards.
We
and-
don't know, let me show. So we're looking at the 30-foot setback, both on the side and on the back. So we just, this is the dash line of 30 feet.
Yeah.
This is 30 feet back, and this is the 50-foot, right in the middle, because
I think
you've
it's
got
192
100 foot.
square feet though.
And if we go about,
No, I know this one's bigger.
one-third and one-third,
Just looking
this
at
would
it
be
as a
30
possible
feet,
angle.
and this would be 30 feet.
I'm not seeing it.
So anything in the shaded area, like if you put the shed right like this, right like that, you'd have a 30-foot setback, you'd have more than 30 feet here, 30 feet there, and be, or you could put it right here, right,
You can ask questions as well.
left, just left of center. And that way, you know, it's actually, you've got more room in front of the shed. I don't know how much it dips down, but at this point, you wouldn't even need a variance.
I
You
wish
would
it was at 7 as
actually
well.
have this drawn out on your original plot plan, follow those dimensions, and you'd probably get a permit, no problem.
Yeah, like, I understand, but like I said, you know, I don't know, it's, like I said, you know, it's kind of, when
On
you look
page
at it, it's so
27,
big,
bottom of the
but
page.
again, the tree,
That's an
see,
interesting little.
because the
angle.
lies here,
Ultimately,
the trees open up here, the
once
tree
they go
come
to
in
above
here.
120
Part
square
of the
foot, shall
problem that we
comply
had
with the
was,
setbacks.
you've got a certified plot plan of the existing house, but not of the new shed or the new structure.
Under
So
21150.
as Mr. Doughty was saying, we don't have a point of reference
Shed was
as to
smaller.
where that
Was
7
it 10 by
foot
12?
was that you were talking about.
Was it 10 by 12?
And so we can't
Go to
be
within
sure. You would actually have to have it
5
staked,
feet
and a
of the lot.
surveyor
If he puts
then
it on
tell us
cinder
where
blocks,
those
now
points
it's-
are.
now it's on
Like right here, the 30-foot, the 30-foot,
I don't have
Line,
anything here that
right.
does that.
these 2 points. And then you'd know you'd have to stick
That's
to
in
the
the
blocks
box.
too.
I mean, I know the wheel thing
That way,
works.
if you
That's
kept
temp.
that shed
And then you
anywhere
put a-
within
do a
the shaded
trailer.
area,
It's on
you
wheels.
just get
That's
a,
right,
you
and
just get a
it's not
regular
permanent,
building
it's not
permit,
permanent
you wouldn't need a
They're
variance. And
considered
because
accessory
right now, we're not
structures
seeing a
regardless of what
hardship.
foundation
Since
they're
you have plenty of places to put the shed,
But this is,
that
are you
doesn't
catching that?
constitute a hardship.
Yeah.
That's
So you can put a
interesting.
5
Since
foot,
you have all this area
could have
and more
220.
Right.
to put the shed, that you're not exhibiting a hardship.
Doesn't say
Mr. Poulin, we have an opportunity. I did some digging. Page 27 of the zoning bylaws, it would require a little bit of change at your end.
Setbacks of
But
5 feet.
if he was willing to bring his shed down to a 10 by 12 instead of a 12 by 16, it's allowed within 5 feet, side and rear lot line. So he could go back more, and he could go side, if you're willing to go down to 120 square feet. I've been digging around in this thing, trying to find that.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the size was, but this is what we're talking about right here. Utility sheds, well, the shed is 120 square feet or less, which is basically 10 by 12. Structure shall require setback of 30 from the front, and not less than 5 from side and rear. Well, your front, you don't even care about, you got plenty. This might be a way for you to get what you, I know it's gonna be a slightly smaller shed, but then I think myself as a board member, I won't speak for the whole board.
Yeah, I aware of that, that's what, we know that.
Oh,
I
you
can-
were
I-
aware?
Yes, and then that's why that I said, well, this is what, with my wife and I, we talk about, I said, honey, we can build a shed, we can, you know, make a good size, and after that, you say, oh, I just was too small, and you're gonna build another one.
Right.
And that's why that I try to get this permit here, and that, you know, I mean, and like I said, that's a hardship we have. I don't know, it's go along with that. Like I said, I have a lot of things to, you know, and to put in there, like I said, at first, like I said, I want to do 12 by 10. I can do like, like gambrel, like, 2-story, how, you put it up there.
Absolutely.
I can do like that too, but again, it's people say, well, and some people said good size, some people it's too small, and then, no, that's why I said, well, let's try this, that's 16 by 12, and then try to get a permit, and then that's what I propose to you.
Well, I'm not saying you can't do that, but it would be much better.
The
if you were
challenge
to-
is with the side yard setback, of
Yes.
course. Yeah.
Mhm.
And improving hardship.
Improving hardship.
Yeah.
And since you do have the room to put a shed, not exactly where you want it, but you do have room to put it on the land, that would negate the hardship clause.
So, that mean that no matter what I want to put into where I put in, that mean I can build that 12 by 10 then, in that area.
12 by 10 could go within 5 feet off the side, and what's the back?
Yeah, no,
And
I
you
thought
could go
was-
back farther, too, with the 12 by 10.
No, I want to
if you
put,
choose.
I want to
Because you're only
put where I
looking
want to put
Yeah,
in there.
five, side and rear.
5 side and rear.
So he can go
Within
all the way
5
back
feet.
to the back of
You
the
go all
property
way
if you
back in the
choose.
corner with a 10 by 12.
Correct.
So you can be within 5 feet of the rear lot line and 5 feet of the side lot line.
Okay,
Or the two.
And then put one on the other side.
but the other side of what, property?
I was gonna say, you build 10 by 12, where do we put another one right next to it and side by
I
side?
don't know how that
We
works.
could do 10 by 12
That's
side
what we
by
were
side.
just, I don't know how that works. We're not encouraging you.
Yeah. Like I said, because everything we do, and we think about not just for ourselves too, I think about how it look to our
course.
neighbor too. That's why we spend, and much time and work in landscaping outside and all that too, to make our neighbors look good. And then we have a lot compliment from our neighbor, because our house, next across the street is dead end street, and every time they come out, they see our house first. I feel like, okay, I have to do something with landscaping. I did.
You sound like a
sure.
great addition to the neighborhood. I'm
Mm.
sure they're glad to have you with all the work that you've done. That's nice, that's good
Yeah,
stuff.
that's why that, and I thinking about, to put the shed there, and because then it's look, not just, just for ourselves too. I even told Addie too, and I said, well, and for you guys too, and why is that? Because, he want to have one, but he can't, That's why. I know that, and we look into the first that, like, you show me that, yeah, I can build in the center and all that too, blah, 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 but the idea is like, why can we put in where, in the corner, and then we have that plan out, and we have that, so you can see that my garden here, and my neighbor, he's so amazed, that, he said when I moved in there, I have cucumber, string bean, I gave to them, and said, wow, you turned the dense jungle to be a garden.
Nice.
And that's what I did, and I do that, and then just people just amazed and how it's turned out. That's why, that's what I look at. And
Right now, I'd like to have Board Member, Mr. Kidd, request the reading of Tyngsborough departmental comments on this application.
All right, from the building inspector, no comments at this time. From the conservation, no comment. From assessors, no adverse comments. From the fire department, okay. From the building, this is the same one again. That's what I have. Everybody's happy at that end as far as what they're seeing, or it doesn't affect them.
Okay, usually at this point, I ask the abutters if there's anybody to speak for or against, but I don't see anybody else here in the meeting, so we'll pass over that. Any further questions or comments from board members before we close the public portion? At this point, have you seriously considered what we were mentioning before, either moving your existing 12 by 16 to more centrally located, or going to a 10 by 20? Are you entertaining, 10 by 12, I'm sorry. Are you entertaining any of those ideas right now?
I think they can go by 12 by 10.
12 by 10? Because at this point, you can modify your request. You could modify the request, we will take that under advisement, and then we can modify your request for variance, and possibly make a motion. So what is your intent? To modify your request?
Yeah, you might wanna let them know how we would modify it.
Okay, I would modify it by saying, you're gonna go to a 10 by 12, and we're gonna allow you up to 5-foot setback on the side and the rear. So you can, anywhere within 5 feet of the rear lot line and the side lot line, for a 10 by 12.
And he has that ability without seeking us, so he could do a motion to withdraw.
Yes.
I already have application for that, application for that side.
That way, it doesn't really,
It wouldn't really compute, because you wouldn't need a variance
Right.
at that
You
point.
wouldn't need anything,
Yeah.
approval from us, you
Yeah.
just go to the building
You just go to
department.
the building department. So you would just withdraw your motion tonight, your application, you would just withdraw it.
would you like to do that, or would you like us to vote still?
I'd like to do that,
You'd like to do the motion to withdraw?
yeah.
You're not a betting man?
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, you making a motion to withdraw, official motion?
To withdraw the
To withdraw
application.
the application?
Yeah.
Okay, you'll have to say that, so that it can
Yes.
be recorded? Okay.
I'll entertain a motion to accept that motion to withdraw from the
Okay.
applicant.
Second?
I have a motion, and I have a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes carry.
Thank you very
So
much.
now you know your options, and actually, you probably knew your options when you came in here.
So, like I said, thank you for drawing.
He
If
knew
I,
that before he
Yes,
did it.
yeah. I couldn't remember the
So
size.
you're gonna go back to the building inspector. You can go back as early as tomorrow,
Right.
and you're gonna bring a new, clean plot plan, and you're gonna show a 10 by 20 shed.
12.
10 by 12, sorry, I keep saying 20. 10 by 12 shed,
I'm gonna give you a 220 square foot shed, I'm telling you.
right in your existing location. You
Right.
can say 7 feet, you can go up to 5 feet
Yeah.
of the property line on that side or towards the rear. So everywhere you filled and leveled, you can put a shed of the proper dimensions.
all right.
Let's say that again.
So they don't care about how high I can go, right? You know what I mean? Like a gambler, they don't care about how many feet I can go, right?
It's maximum requirements for buildings and structures, but as far as a shed, I believe you can go, head height plus like a gambrel. So you
That's
probably go 10 feet, anyway.
All right, thank you.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the next order of business. Let's see, what do we have?
Approval of minutes.
Your reports?
Approval of minutes.
We're gonna move on to approval of minutes. Let's look at the March 10th. Everybody take a moment to look at that.
Oh, that was a busy night.
That was 9:30 night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, and
Everybody okay with the March 10th minutes that have to sign off on it? Myself, Adriana, Chaz, Javi's not here, and Rob, Rob was not there. Okay, so me, Chaz, and Adriana, how we doing?
Good.
Good, okay.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from March 10th, 2016.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes carry. Now, moving on to the minutes for April 14th.
Am I allowed to vote on minutes?
Only if you attended the meeting, and you didn't
Why is-
attend that one either, and neither did I.
But you don't have to attend the meeting to vote on them.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
That's under what Charles ruled on.
I'm sorry?
That's not how Charles rules. Because actually, we had this issue years ago in conservation, and I went to Charles on it, he says, you do not have to be at a meeting to approve minutes. Remember we had that issue? We'd have meetings we couldn't approve, you can vote on minutes, you do not need to be at the meeting to approve the minutes.
We've always,
You can abstain if you'd wish.
You can abstain, but if you wish, but you can actually vote on, you can vote to approve minutes of a meeting that you were not at.
I don't think I would be comfortable doing that as a
But
member.
I know, I'm just saying, sometimes what would happen with us, we couldn't get a quorum sometimes, because we'd have, like right now, you only had three
Only
people
had
here.
three, right.
So that's really not a vote, correct? It's not
Well,
a
it's
full
not a
quorum.
super majority, but it's a majority because of a five-person board.
Right. But for us,
But you're right, if you're down to two.
right,
then
so
you
we
really
always
can't
had that
approve
issue,
minutes.
so I asked legal about it, they said, no, you do not have to be at the meeting to approve the minutes.
It's good to know.
Because we had a point where,
in order to, if you're absent, they make you go through and watch the video, and you gotta
Yes.
do your research.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
That's in order to comment, to keep current with a case that you're on.
I agree
So I would-
100%.
I would assume that in order to do due diligence,
yes.
in order to sign off or approve the minutes, you would
Right.
at least be aware of
What
what transpired in the meeting, so you
Right,
watch the
like, see,
video,
I wouldn't
read.
vote on these minutes, I wasn't here,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but if you were part of a process and you read all the minutes, watched the video, you could actually vote on, but you can't
Right.
vote on minutes that you weren't attended.
Okay, do I have a motion for April 14th to, do I have any amendments, or do I have any, a motion for approval?
Make it a motion to approve the April 14, 2016 minutes.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed, the ayes carry. April 14th has been approved. Now moving on to May 12th. And it's myself, Adriana, Chaz, Javi, Ed, Pat, and, oh, Rob's absent.
The longest stretch of absences, I think, in all the years I've been a board member. Shame on me.
We were getting concerned.
There should be a cut and pay. No question about it. I would make that motion.
Okay, that was the flagpole,
Yes.
Yeah. Second visit on the
Dream Diner.
flagpole and Dream
Flagpole
Diner.
and Dream Diner.
the first 92 Coburn, which wasn't open, and then Dream Diner, yep. Dream Diner, we had the amendment. Everybody got the email, everybody approved. You
What was
got
the
the
amendment?
email? I didn't get any news back from you, but it's been approved.
Okay, yeah, actually, I gotta get a new phone.
It was an email. It was the.
Well, I get everything on my phone. It's funny, I don't know what it is, maybe somebody can figure it out. Every 2 hours, my phone says no SIM card,
Was there concerns about
and
septic?
everything is gone.
No concerns
And
about,
today, I got like 9 texts after 3 hours.
If I send you an email, I'm gonna follow up with a phone call next time. So I'll make sure you
Please.
get it.
Please.
Right.
Let's see, okay, and then it was the engineer report for Ting Village.
Oh, locust.
Do I have a motion to accept or amend May 12th, 2016 meeting minutes?
Make a motion to accept the May 12, 2016 minutes.
I have a motion to accept. Do I have a second?
second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes carry. We have accepted May 12th, 2016 minutes. Okay, we're through the minutes. Old business, new business. We signed the payroll and vendor bill schedules, and we signed the variance for 384 Middlesex Dream Diner and special permit. I think anything else that we want to discuss that's not on the agenda, that would be an open item. Update to your application. Your application is in, Board of Selectmen.
Yeah.
Pat Michaels is in.
Yeah.
And Javi Miller's is in.
Oh, good. Hopefully everybody's ready to go.
I still have one here from Kirk Parent. Do we know what is going on with this one?
It was given to the Board of Selectmen, so.
Okay, so they also have Kirk Parent. So we're gonna be looking for, this is June, so next month. Guess what? No, we're looking for next month, for July. We're gonna be looking for Pat Michael, Ed Smith, Javi Miller, and possibly Kirk Parent.
See what the Board of Selectmen decide to do.
If we have, can you drop a note to town administrator? Just ask him how things are going?
Yeah, I spoke with Assistant Town Administrator Matt Hanson a couple of days ago to ask him how things were going. And he said that they're working on it, they didn't,
Okay.
and to,
Can you ask him if we can have a confirmation
yeah, they,
prior to the next month's meeting minutes
He
going out?
told me that they would be, everybody would be ready to go by July 1st. So not to worry that,
Has to be.
yeah, so. Their next
Anybody else in
meeting-
jeopardy? Anybody else? Moving on.
The rest of us aren't
changing.
expiring?
Okay, everybody else.
I mean, leaves
I
on the
hope
board.
not.
Not this board.
Please don't expire.
Not this board.
Please don't
Expire their
expire.
term.
Yeah,
Okay.
term only.
Okay, let's see, inclusion. We have an update for inclusion.
We really don't. We just got started on it. Did you get an email from me today?
I got an email from you,
Are
but
you
I never,
available?
but I never attended the first meeting, so I don't know what's going on
That's all right, you didn't miss a thing. I'm not available next Thursday.
at 10 o'clock.
At 10 o'clock. And if you'd like to jump in, I don't even know that Rick has replied yet either.
Okay.
It sounds like Matt's available and Pam's available?
I did not receive an invitation for any kind of meeting.
Well, no,
next
this was the next meeting anyway. I think that date, that wasn't pegged when we were at the last meeting?
Not on your calendar?
No, it wasn't. You're right, because I would have known, and I would have said no then, that I knew, yeah, you're right. You didn't get an email?
No, I did not. I'm the only the administrative assistant.
Come on now, you're the glue. Get the deal.
Well, if
You're the one that keeps the whole thing going. Are you
Well, if we
kidding?
knew we had
Not
a meeting.
according to the head honchos.
I'm sorry, inclusionary zoning is something that we brought up a while ago that,
A neighboring town has already incorporated that in their zoning bylaws.
so to keep your 40B numbers at
Ma-
10%.
maintain the
I know, it's a
10%.
weird, yeah, it's an odd word for what we're trying to accomplish.
Okay, yes, I'm with you now.
And what we've learned in the first meeting is you don't want it perhaps all over town. You're talking about segments of the town, you know, but it's kind of interesting, and it's something we want to work towards. Of course, we have to put together a warrant article that will pass muster at town meeting.
Who is actually taking the forefront in writing this legislation, and what kind of background do they have?
Well, Matt Hansen's probably as good as any, because he, as a selectman in Chelmsford, was involved when they did inclusionary zoning in Chelmsford.
NEMCOG is
And
heading it
NEMCOG
up.
was, that's right, she was at the meeting.
Oh, so
Beverly Woods, yeah.
So she's from them?
Yeah, they're
Yes.
pretty
She- yeah.
experienced with
And
this.
Rick Rose involved, and then someone from this board.
Mhm.
And I jumped in to help, and I'm just not available next Thursday, and love to have you jump in if you are
Well,
available.
that's if they're having a meeting next Thursday. If you can let
I'm
me know.
not privy to any meeting next Thursday.
Okay, well, if you can let me know if there is gonna be a meeting.
I don't have my phone with me, because I don't want to have it go off, but it's,
You're pretty sure?
oh yeah, well, I forwarded the email to you.
Can you forward it to me too?
Yeah, but I've been invited to other things also, and things come up at the last minute. So, unless I know,
Did I not get on your dance card early enough?
no, I'm talking about, other issues
No, I
with the
understand.
town.
And I would only
And-
need you, you know, if you're able to do it
Well,
for this one, because I would
somebody
like to
has
continue to be
take a dog
involved.
to the vet or something like, you know, and all of a sudden they have to leave, and they, so we're not having a meeting, so I'm like, okay, are we having a meeting or not having a meeting? So, as far as I'm concerned, if you're not on the list, and.
Rick Rowe is, Matt is.
Yeah, but he hasn't responded, so, yeah.
Yeah, so there may or may not even be a meeting. That's,
There may, yeah, I'd like to know if there's a meeting first, and before I can find out. But if there's anybody else in town that would like to, who's around, because I'm not in town.
it'll be next Thursday at 10 a.m. here at Town Hall. You in the neighborhood? You around or no?
You around?
No.
You in town next
I'm in
Thursday?
town, but I'm working.
Yeah.
I could, you know what I mean, I don't know where I'm working. I'm working somewhere in town.
Okay. Javi's usually the good backup.
Oh, okay, right.
Could you forward us the email that you
Certainly will.
received?
And maybe make the request to Javi?
I will.
That'd be good.
Thanks. Right on my hand.
It'd be nice to have Ting Village update. He's chugging along there.
Yeah, I haven't received a recent update. I will ask Dave for an update for the next meeting.
We can go out at any time. We can schedule something with Mr. Sanderson if he's around. To do it, if there's any interest in actually going out there.
Love to.
Do you want me to set something up with him?
Yeah, that would
All
be
right.
great. What would be best for people, late in the afternoon or first thing in the morning?
Late in the afternoon would be better for me.
Yeah, I would say
Late in the
that's better.
afternoon? Late in the afternoon. Late in the afternoon, and if we can make it, we'll be there.
And perhaps the building inspector was available.
Building inspector and a few days' notice for when he's gonna be there. Yep.
Yeah, I'll have Dave work with Walter Erickson and his people to set up a site walk and get some dates and times.
And our other project across the street, they breaking ground, or they waiting for?
Nothing yet.
Waiting for sewers,
Where's this?
Potash?
not Potash, across from Ting Village.
Merrimack Commons,
Merrimack
Ting,
Commons,
yeah,
and-
that whole pumpkin patch thing.
Surprised they haven't had any, prime time weather to be.
I don't know if the sewers,
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it has something
Well,
to do with the sewer?
But they can still be doing infrastructure and all that stuff. The sewer will be in sometime next year, you know, as far as ready to stub off and go, and that end is where the sewer line is already. So they could very well possibly stub off this year if they were moving. You wonder what the holdup is.
yeah, we need to find that out before our numbers dip. Okay.
Okay, anything else? Going once, going twice. I'm looking for a motion
Motion to adjourn.
to
Second.
adjourn. I have a second. I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes carry. Thank you, everyone.
See you in July.